Yeah, exactly. Talk to me.
Okay.
Don't talk to that.
All right.
Is it supposed to have something to do with what we eat?
This, my 5 rules.
Yeah, it's supposed to have something to do with the way we live.
Okay.
So, y'all, this is Dr. Ainslie McLean. Not doctor. I
I'm
feel
not
like
a
you're a
doctor.
doctor.
No.
This is Ainslie McLean, my Pilates instructor.
And I don't pretend to be one on TV either.
And she has been dying to talk about the ketogenic diet. And I think everybody is interested in diet. And, before we started, you were saying about how diet is confusing and stuff like that. All this stuff is confusing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff here. I was going to use some other expletive. But we're here to talk about the ketogenic diet,
Yeah,
correct?
that's right. We're talking about ketogenic diet and about ketosis.
And about ketosis. And how did you, before we get into the diet, how did you get interested in this?
Okay, so I am a breast cancer survivor, and I also have SLE lupus.
Okay.
And so a lot of things started going wrong with me. So when I was 39, I had a heart attack, then I got high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, I have Raynaud's syndrome, and every time I go to the doctor, they're like, you need medicine.
So due to multiple medical issues.
Right.
And if anybody is watching the live broadcast, please let us know if you can hear us, because I'm concerned about the ambient noise in here, and if we have to move, I'll move. But if you can hear us, that would be great. Why don't we go ahead and turn that off again, Seth? Under my direction, turn off the ice machine. That's great. Because of various health issues, breast cancer and lupus, you became interested in nutrition?
Well, every time you go to the doctor, when something's wrong, they give you a medicine. And when you give your medicine, then something else goes wrong, and then another thing, and then another thing. And so anyway, I figured, I'm an athlete. There has to be a better way, right? And so I started researching it.
Okay.
And oddly enough, our friend, Mark Bierman, and his wife, Jody, my eye doctor, he was like, hey, have you ever heard of this? And I was like, no, what is it? So we went and we were talking about it, and they were sharing with me. I was like, well, what is ketosis? I want to know about it. What are you talking about?
Okay.
And so they were talking about ketosis is a natural metabolic state. When we're born as babies in the world, we're born in the metabolic state of ketosis. Then we pollute ourselves with what we put in our mouth, right?
Okay.
So ketosis is a natural metabolic state. So we're made of cells, and we eat food for energy. Most of the time, the food that we eat, we run on glucose fuel, and we need that to run for our brain, for our energy, and all this.
We need sugar.
Well, so there's a new way to run it. It's on ketone fuel, and ketone fuel is better than glucose fuel, and I'm going to tell you why.
So it's like sunlight as an energy source as opposed to gasoline. You're saying
like that.
You're saying ketones can be a fuel as opposed to glucose.
Exactly. And it actually, the science, I am not a doctor. I research, there are very many smart doctors. Functional medicine is on the cutting edge of learning about all the benefits of ketosis. And one of the things that you and I, our very first conversation we were talking about, you said, that's ketoacidosis. 99% of the doctors say, oh, you can't do that, that's ketoacidosis. And that is something that can kill you when you have type 1 diabetes, right? To be in the metabolic state of ketosis is actually now, science is proving that it is helping cure autoimmune diseases that are coming from leaky gut, and it's also neurological going to our brain. So this is, for example, Dr. Mary Newport has written 3 or 4 books. She
Go ahead and hold the book up, because I doubt the camera can see that.
Okay, so this is the book. Her husband died of early onset Alzheimer's. She is an amazing scientist that was a neonatologist, and when her husband was sick with early onset Alzheimer's, she started realizing that there were benefits of the combination of MCT oil and coconut oil, and it was measurable cognitive differences. It did not cure it, measurable cognitive differences.
Okay, so rather than sort of go into is the keto diet good, let's just, for the purposes of our conversation,
Okay.
assume it's good.
Okay, so
And so just tell our listeners as simple as possible, about the keto diet.
Okay, so, all right, let's go back. So you eat food for energy, for fuel, right?
Correct.
So the standard American diet is made up of 60% of carbs.
Okay.
60%.
Okay.
We used to do the food pyramid.
Right.
Death by the food pyramid, right?
Right.
The ketogenic diet is less than 20 carbs a day.
So 60%, now we're down to 20%. That's the ketogenic
Not
diet.
20%, 20 carbs. So
Well, you
60
started with 60. How many carbs is in the 60% carb diet?
So you might intake 300 to 600 carbs. You might intake 1,000 grams of sugar.
Okay, so
Right?
so 300 to 600 grams of carbs is now down to 20 grams
Right.
of carbs. So let me put that in English, okay?
Yeah.
Let me just put that in English. What you're saying is don't eat carbs, period. Because if you go from 300 to 600 grams of carbs to 20, that's basically going from high carbs to no carbs.
Mhm.
And the truth is let's say you eat, I don't know, some fish, or some chicken, or some steak, something that's high protein.
Right?
There's probably going to be some carbs in there, and if not from the steak itself or the fish itself, maybe from the sauce you put on it.
Right?
So I made you write down a bunch of rules.
Right.
Okay. Make it simple.
Okay.
And one of those rules would be, we're going to go from 600 grams of carbs to 20 grams of carbs. No, you're just not going to eat carbs.
Well,
That's basically no carbs.
but what's different
Okay.
about ketosis and say the Atkins diet?
Okay.
What's different about protein and being in ketosis?
Okay.
Ketosis
Explain
is
that.
fat. Fat fuels the brain. Fat burns fat, and we've been taught to eat no fat. Protein can also turn into insulin, which makes type 2 diabetes.
But you're saying it's okay to eat fat.
It's good to eat fat.
So there you
It's
go.
necessary.
There you go. I didn't
Right.
say you couldn't
Right.
eat fat.
Fat,
All I said
right.
is don't eat carbs.
Right, right,
So
right.
you know what? I'm going to I have this on my list.
Okay,
I wrote don't eat sugar.
okay.
I wrote don't eat sugar / carbs.
Okay, one piece of bread is 15 grams of carbs.
Right, so don't eat it.
Right, but
Don't eat it
what
because
about
that-
lean chicken?
Right. Chicken is fine. I don't consider chicken a carb.
Okay, but if you eat Atkins and you're eating all lean protein, you're not going to go into the metabolic state of ketosis because you're not
Because
eating
you're
enough
not
fat.
getting the fat.
So the whole.
But I'll get the fat.
Okay.
Believe me, I'll find fat.
Okay, well, so then we talk about how do you get in. The goal is to get into the metabolic state of ketosis. Why? You want to have energy. You want to have mental clarity. You don't want to have an autoimmune disorder. You don't want to be taking medicine and have disease.
Fair
you want
enough.
to feel good, right?
Right.
So what I say is, if you're not willing to try a diet that might make you better, you don't feel bad enough. So when you get faced with an autoimmune disorder and you can't work and you can't be with your kids and you can't do your life, right? And you have cancer, you will eat dirt if a doctor told you to if you're going to feel better. So that's where my passion comes from.
So with the ketogenic diet,
Right?
what you're saying is you're going to feel good.
That's right. Why else would you do it?
You're going to feel good. And so I've done various forms
Sure.
of this diet, and I have my own rules that I wrote down.
Okay.
I'll let you read those. But the reason we eat carbs, I think, is that they don't
taste
make
good.
you feel good,
They
but
do.
they sure damn taste good.
They do.
And I guess you do get a temporary. You get a because after you eat them like 20 minutes, you don't feel good anymore.
That's exactly right. Right. So it's
You
the
feel lousy.
sustainability.
You
Yes.
feel lousy
Yes.
afterwards.
So this is how they explain ketosis. Ketosis is a constant state of euphoria that you have to work really hard to stay in if you can get into it. And when you're on glucose fuel, you get a flash of whatever. You feel great, and then you're exhausted.
See, and I can relate to this because I have experienced what you're talking about.
Everybody does.
so-
If you have a body, you experience this. The black circles under your eyes, but the main offender is inflammation. So skin, your hair, like hypothyroid, hyperthyroid, all these different diseases that we're getting now. Insulin is our hormones, right? And so when you're in the metabolic state of ketosis, you're not only do you feel euphoric, you're not tired, you have energy and mental clarity, your libido's better, your hormones regulate, all these things. Who doesn't want that? But you can't eat cake. So we want
Right.
to eat cake,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So how do you eat cake? So when you eat these things, this is called monk fruit. There's another thing called xanthan gum, erythritol, all of these things, stevia. They're natural sweeteners that make recipes that don't count as carbs. So, for example, if you're going to look at something,
What I like about this package is that on the top it says keto
yeah,
and it says 0 glycemic.
that's right.
Because one of my rules,
Okay.
I'm going to let you read my rules first, okay? But I already told you one of them was don't eat sugar, don't eat carbs,
Okay.
okay? And then I put an exception for fresh fruit. I think fresh fruit is a healthy way of eating carbs. But one of my rules is if it has a label, it is bad. Eat real food. So the problem with labels
Mm-hmm.
is, in general, they tell you, look at the label, read the label, read the label, see what this says. It's too complicated.
That's right.
It's too complicated.
That's right.
If it has a label, it's bad. Well, this stuff has labels, so
Yeah.
automatically I would consider this bad. But this may be an exception to the rule because I like the fact that it just says on the packaging 0 calorie, 0 glycemic. The calorie really doesn't matter to me. The fact that it's 0 glycemic, I think, tells the story.
Well, but I think you're right. My daughter is a sophomore in college, and she has created this whole wellness program because the kids are inundated with depression. And we were talking about, she was like, wow, Mom, we eat crap at school, right? So she made this whole correlation. She's sending me all this stuff about it's soy, this, that, whatever, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Can I eat this? And I said, you need to eat real food. So this isn't a package. All this stuff
Yeah, I
makes
hate
my
that it's in a
stomach hurt.
package. I
Yeah,
hate that it's in a
right.
package.
So you're right. Eat real food.
Eat
The
real
problem-
food.
the
If it has a
problem-
label, it's bad.
Well, and the problem with being in the metabolic state of ketosis is fruit is evil. No juice. No juice. You're sick, you drink orange juice.
So what I wrote was don't juice your food.
Right,
I wrote don't juice your food. You can eat an apple, in my opinion.
Right.
And I also put dogma. This is my opinion.
okay.
This is not necessarily the complete book of ketones opinion. This is my opinion, which is don't juice your food.
Right.
But if you take an apple and you juice it,
Mhm.
okay, you have apple juice. You can suck that down in 10 seconds.
That's right.
But if you eat an apple, it's going to take you about 15 minutes to really eat that apple.
Right.
And for whatever reason, okay, you're only going to eat one apple. But when you juice it and eat it, you'll have like 7 of those apples.
All right, so let's make it simple. Why are you eating the apple?
Ooh,
You're hungry.
I'm hungry,
You're
and
hungry.
I
Eat a
think
snack.
it's a good source of food. In my
Right,
opinion.
okay. Fiber doesn't count as a carb, but fruit in ketosis is evil. It will knock you out. Alcohol and fruit knock you out, right? Even though it's natural, knocks you out. So why would you do the ketogenic diet?
I personally would do it for a lot of the reasons you mentioned, which is to feel good,
Okay,
to be able to participate in sports
okay,
and compete at the highest level, and then I would also do it to lose weight. I don't want to be overweight. I would do it to maintain
a healthy weight.
a healthy weight. That's why I would do it.
So if your goal was for those things, I would say probably,
But I don't want to be hungry.
no, I know, but probably the Mediterranean diet would probably be a better solution for you because you can eat fruit, you can eat healthy, vegetables. Some vegetables are not, will take you out of ketosis, right?
And that may be true. That may be true. Maybe I need to be on the Mediterranean diet. What I want people to think about is a eating lifestyle,
Right.
as opposed to a diet.
Okay, so that's why I was so excited for this opportunity to talk to you. Okay, so first of all,
Have I disappointed you?
no,
Okay.
I'm so thankful to be here. No, but the reason that I do this diet is for inflammation because my number one offender is my arthritis. I have chronic pain my
And
arthritis.
so people would call it an anti-inflammatory diet. That's something you hear a lot about, the anti-inflammatory diet.
So the inflammation creates all these other things: psychosis, depression. You don't sleep good. You have acne, nosebleeds,
Sure.
upper respiratory, like you name it. You know, whatever, leaky gut, like you name it, whatever. So my reason for being on keto, I don't want to have cancer. Cancer sucks. I don't want to have an autoimmune disorder, but the main reason is so I can sleep at night, right?
Okay.
I don't want to have pain, and I don't want to take painkillers and medicine
Gotcha.
for it,
So it
right?
makes you feel good.
All right, but I like wine.
Okay.
All right, so red wine.
I hear they've got like wines now that
Right.
are like glycemic friendly or that are keto. What do they call these
Yeah,
wines?
they call it dry farms.
Dry farms.
Yes,
I noticed this box.
Right.
It says ketones, caffeine benefits.
right.
And so another one of my dogmas
Yes.
is that coffee is good.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
So look at that. Look at my rules. I
I
think pretty
know.
good. Coffee is good. Don't eat sugar. Eat protein. Eat real food. Don't juice your food.
That's right. Very good. Okay, so let's talk about coffee. It's one of my very favorite things in the whole world.
All right.
All right.
Love coffee.
So coffee. This is the coffee creamer. What if I told
I
you?
use my cream. It's got fat in it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So
And probably sugar.
what if I told you you could get into the metabolic state of ketosis, not gain weight, have better improved athletic performance, mental clarity, energy, all these things that you want to have, and trick your body into the metabolic state of ketosis and eat an apple, and drink a glass of wine?
What do I have to give up for that?
Well, it's new science, and it's called beta-hydroxybutyrate, and you drink it, and it makes your body
Is this the
think.
beta-hydroxybutyrate? Where's the beta-hydroxybutyrate?
So beta-hydroxybutyrate is, okay, remember what you said on here, keto on here?
Yes.
It's marketing. You go to Walgreens, it's keto. You go
Right.
to Costco, it's keto. You go to
Right.
Publix, it's keto.
Right. At least
Wherever
you know
go.
it's keto. If
It's-
you're good with keto. Okay.
No, okay, so this is what makes it keto, beta-hydroxybutyrate, right? So these products have beta-hydroxybutyrate in them, which is what comes out of your liver. If you Google what it is, it's a chemistry problem.
Okay.
That's what when you go into the metabolic state of ketosis, you have ketones coming out of your liver. It's all natural. When you drink these, when you have an autoimmune disorder, your body won't go into ketosis whether you eat an apple or a cookie or not. It's very frustrating.
What does this have to do with my coffee?
So this is the coffee creamer. You put this in. It has MCT oil, coconut oil, collagen. When you drink your coffee with this, your body's tricked into the metabolic state of ketosis.
What if I don't like the way this tastes, or does this not have taste?
If you don't like the way that tastes, you take a pill. It's beta-hydroxybutyrate.
This says sweet cream. So is this supposed to
So-
replace my cream?
Okay, so let's talk about your cream. What do you put in your coffee?
I hate packages, folks.
Yeah.
I really do hate packages.
Okay. Well, beta-hydroxybutyrate only comes in a package, or you can do ketosis and you can't
But
eat your apple.
if this is this supposed to replace my cream, or is this like?
This is cream.
This is my creamer.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys
How much
wanna-
is this?
That is like $80.
And how many cups of coffee is this good for?
So there are 20 in here. So 20 cups of coffee.
$80.
Yep.
That's expensive.
Well, what price will you pay for your body to be in ketosis for the whole day? For me, okay, this is my favorite product. So this is an all-natural exogenous ketone. You put it in a shaker that you didn't use.
No,
okay?
that's why I brought it
All right.
here. I brought it here so we use
This
this,
is
now.
different. This is different. We're gonna talk about that in a minute.
All right, let's do this
So-
now.
so
I want
look.
to do this right now.
All right, so this is
Wait, these are what you gave me. Don't give me a new one. This is what you gave me last
This is a
time.
new product. It's the Mac Daddy. Look, it's the most. It's the most. So this is the most caffeine. I think it's grapefruit, isn't it?
This says Black
Yeah.
Ruby Rush.
Okay, so let's talk about this. All natural exogenous ketones for this pack, $10.
This
10
package
bucks.
is $10.
$10.
Wait a minute. This package
10
itself
bucks.
is $10.
$10. This box, $157. Yeah, this package, $7. Okay, so when I drink one of these, my body goes into ketosis.
All right,
in
let's-
30
let's-
minutes.
Let's drink one now.
All right,
Can I
wait,
open
let's put
this?
some, let's put some of your good ice in there.
It's cheaper being fat, let's say.
No, it's not. It is definitely not cheaper being fat. Go ahead and you can film this too. We're in our break room, folks.
So
you put ice in there.
So did you hear what he said? I'd rather be fat.
No, he said it's cheaper being fat.
Well, it's cheaper eating fat.
Wait till you're sick.
Yeah. So no.
Wait till you have cancer and you have your boobs amputated.
Tear this up.
That's expensive.
Tear this up.
Yeah.
You know, just pour it in.
Yeah. Pour it in.
This is $10 right here.
$10. You're gonna be cleaning your sock drawer tonight. I hope you get tons of that today. What if it made you stop coughing?
I'm gonna stop coughing anyway.
It's like snake oil.
Stop coughing. So I poured this in.
Okay, fill it up with water. Shake it really good.
Wait, where's my thing?
Here, sir, Lou.
I can't drink the whole thing.
You don't have to. Just taste it.
Fill it up with water all
Cold
the way.
water. Yep. We'll do it almost all the way so we can shake it really good. So anyway, when you eat food, remember, when you eat food, it takes about 4 hours for that food to get into your system. Then that glucose is in your liver and in your pancreas. It takes a minimum of 10 to 12 hours for that to come out into your body, all right? That's going into your cells, right? So when that glucose goes into your cells, and it keeps going into your cells, and it keeps going into your cells, it dumps into your blood, and that's when the insulin goes into your blood too much, and then you get diabetes, right?
Are we good?
Shake it, shake it. Really good. Shake it, shake it. All right, now fill it up with a little bit more water, and then you can drink it. So when you go into the metabolic state of ketosis with intermittent fasting naturally, it takes anywhere from 4 to 5 days if you eat under 20 carbs and you don't cheat at all. It's super hard not to cheat. By drinking all natural exogenous ketones, you trick your body into the metabolic state of ketosis right now. So you automatically get that bump. You get the lift. Feel better?
I'll say it doesn't taste bad.
No. Okay, so let's talk about that. The Harvard School of Medicine found that if you had seizures, if you starved the seizure and you went into the metabolic state of ketosis, the seizures would stop. That's how they stopped the seizures.
So I just made myself a cocktail.
Okay.
$10 cocktail.
Okay.
All right, which is what a cocktail would cost.
Right.
And I can't drink all this.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't. I mean, I could if we're on camera, yeah.
Okay, let me tell you about all
Can
natural.
I put this in the refrigerator and drink it later? And how long will this last?
Okay, so first of all, they don't work if you don't drink it. So just drink it. Second of all.
But I'll drink it eventually.
No, I know, but it doesn't work if it's not in your body, right? So you want to get it in your body. So just.
But what's the difference if I drink
you
a
know
little
the song,
now?
Drink mother, drink mother, drink.
What's the difference if I drink a little now and I drink a little, 4 hours from now? It's still going to get in my body.
So it depends on how tall you are or how big you are. So in order to shut off that glucose, you need to get it in your body. This is the thing about all natural exogenous ketones. A, they travel on salt. B, they taste terrible. So they make them super, super sweet, and you pee it all out. So you need to replenish with electrolytes. It's super important because you urinate out the insulin, right? You're urinating out, cleaning out your liver and your pancreas with all that insulin and glucose so that you can get into the metabolic state of ketosis, right? So as you urinate all that out, ketones make you super thirsty. So as you drink a little bit more of that, you're going to feel like you have a litter of kittens in your mouth, like you just took like a Claritin D. You're going to be so thirsty. So drink it because you're going to be thirsty. And then the side effect is it makes you pee. And the other side effect is it makes you want to drink more water. And we're supposed to drink more water anyway, right?
Why? That wasn't on my list of dogmas.
To drink more water?
Let's go back on my list.
So did he have to mix that with that particular amount of water, or could he have just put that packet in half the water since he doesn't want to drink the whole thing?
Some people use half a pack with that whole thing of water. So you could use half a pack twice a day if you didn't want to do one whole pack at once. The purpose is to get it in your system. So drink half and see.
But why can't I put it in the fridge? Why can't I drink half, put it in the refrigerator, drink half tomorrow? You can, because there's a lot of caffeine in here in this particular product, and it'd probably be best for you tonight. Let's go back over here.
All right, so let's talk about one more thing. You were talking about this one. So this is very special. This is brand new, and I brought this to you about a month ago.
When we did
about
the
the body,
Pilates. That's why I
right?
brought it back to
Right,
you.
and I wanted you to use it for your tennis match.
Right, but I
Okay.
did not want to try. Let's go sit
All
down.
right, so the thing that's so special about this is all these ketones, the exogenous ketones, all these companies make it. This particular product is called Prove It. It is bioidentical to what comes out of our liver. And there's a team of scientists that dedicate their life to research it, and I encourage people to research it. So,
Do you have a question, Seth? You look like you have a question.
okay, so this particular product is an energy drink. And we all know energy drinks are not good for us, right? So when you drink this energy drink, it has the beta-hydroxybutane in it, and it tricks your body into the metabolic state of ketosis. So what happens when you're in the metabolic state of ketosis? It turns on your metabolism, and for fat old women that are going through menopause, we get all this cortisol. It stores in the middle, like belly fat, right? So remember I told you Mark and Jody Bierman showed me this?
Yeah.
On September 1st, 2 years ago, I started drinking it, and by September 11th, I lost 9 pounds. I did nothing different, and it all came off my tummy because estrogen makes cortisol that stores as belly fat. So when you're in the metabolic state of ketosis, it restarts your metabolism. It gives you mental clarity. It gives you energy. But you know what else it does? It kills your appetite. It gives you willpower. So it's really hard for me. I'm Italian. I love pasta. But I can't eat pasta because it's a carb and it spikes me, right? And then I can't go to work tomorrow.
Right.
So I make roasted vegetables, and I make sauce like natural marinara, and I put it on, and I can have cheese, and I can have all these other things, but I can't have the pasta and the carbs. So it's hard for me to have willpower. It's your birthday. It's Christmas. See the Christmas cookies right there? I could walk right by them. We could go to a Christmas party together. We could go to a holiday party with all this food. Everybody's eating all this stuff, and I can just walk right by it. So when you think about, oh, I can't do this now, it's the holidays, you should do it now. It gives you willpower. So you walk up to this table, and you can eat the antipasta and have hearts of palm and olives and salami and
All right.
cheese and all these things.
Let me see your list.
So I didn't know it was all about food. So my list is different.
Oh, your list is so different.
Yeah.
I love your list.
My rule of thumb is do unto others. I'm a baby lover. Like, I love kids, and what I always tell kids is kids need to be in ketosis too for their mental state of well-being. I hate when kids don't eat well, and I hate more when parents let their kids not eat well. They don't take care of their kids.
So I can't drink anymore,
That's
Liz.
fine.
I'm feeling like so full and almost just too full from it
So
now.
screw the lid on and save it till tomorrow.
Okay.
So what about the the kind of the age-old stat that that carbs are your brain food. They help you to think clearly and to go about your day. I mean, you have to have some carbs, right?
We've been taught wrong, right? So I encourage you. I'm not a doctor. This is such a great book. Any way you can. And this is a functional medicine doctor that her grandmother got cancer and she was going to die. Like, that was it. She was going to die. And so, anyway, she was looking into the metabolic state of ketosis.
So Ainslie, I assume that you sell these products, right?
No, not all of them. No, I don't.
So you just take these products.
I buy them just like you do. This company right here is virtual, and you buy them online. You can't get them in the store.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a website.
I want to make things easy for people, though.
Yeah.
What do people do? Do they just call you if they want to be
Yeah.
on a ketogenic diet? And do you work with people on diets? Do you charge to help them, transition from a American diet to a healthy diet?
I don't.
Okay.
And I'm also not a doctor.
I
That's
understand.
right.
So how do people who are listening to this that really feel like, listen, I want to try this, they've heard your story,
Right.
they want to feel better, they want to get on an anti-inflammatory diet,
Right.
they want to decrease inflammation in their body, they want to promote ketosis.
Right.
What is the simple thing for them to do?
So that's one of the things with our healthcare system that I am so proud of you for giving us all this opportunity to have this Doc Live, is that a lot of the segments that you're having is that I think we can do better. And so we really have to be our own advocate. And it makes me
Well, the
angry.
problem with healthcare is frankly, it is not focused on health, it's focused on disease.
Right.
So we're getting people that have disease and trying to get them without disease, as opposed to taking people that really don't have disease and making them healthy.
Right.
So that's a real issue with
It
our
really
healthcare
is.
system. It's not wellness oriented.
Right.
It's dis-ease oriented.
Right. So my goal, I own 2 Pilates studios, and my goal is to promote and facilitate a sustainable lifestyle of wellness for people. And however that looks, I'm not a doctor. You can call me. I'll put my phone number up on there. I'm happy to talk to you. But I've dedicated my life to healing through movement and through diet. And I don't think the ketogenic diet is for everyone. If you're not sick, a Mediterranean diet might be better. But if you drink exogenous ketones, they're at Walgreens, they're online, they're at Whole Foods. There's all different kind of ways you can do it. I've dedicated a whole lot of time to see how to do it. There are measurable ways. There's apps. This thing, and I brought you this, but I'm not going to let you blow on it because you're sick. But this is a thing. There's an app, and you can take blood, you can urinate. It makes it quantitative. You can see, am I in the metabolic state of ketosis?
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. And so there's an app.
You're not going to let me blow on it?
Well, I have a tip if you want to, but I really don't want to get sick.
All right.
You wanna do it?
No, I won't. I do want to do it, but
All right.
if you're worried.
Do we have
Blake, you are sick. You know that?
That I was laughing because you've been sick for like 4 DocTalks now for the past 4 weeks. Like,
I know, and I don't
He
want
keeps
it.
blaming you on his asthma.
I know. All right, so here's the app. So this is an app, and you blow into it, and it's going to tell him if he's in ketosis. So this is one way. There's another way. I brought these too. You can get these. I got these at Walgreens. They're like, I don't know, $10. Everything's $10,
So
right?
he would need to finish that water first, right?
Yeah.
Before he.
Yeah.
I'm not finishing that. I'm done.
These, you urinate on the stick, and it tells you when you go to the bathroom if you're in it. And you can also, there's a little blood test.
This is not finding your device. Are you sure you got your Bluetooth on or whatever?
Let me see.
So when you blow it, what is it looking for? How does it determine?
So we make, when you're in the metabolic state of ketosis, there's something in the bottom of your lungs called acetone, and it reads to see if the acetone, is it doing it? It reads to see if the acetone is in the bottom of your lungs, and so it's like from a 1 to a 10, and it'll tell you, but you know, ketosis is hard to get into, so that's what I was saying. Why are you on Why are you on a ketogenic diet in the first place? What's your goal? What's your personal reason? Remember, you said everybody has a story. What's your personal reason? You don't want to gain weight. You want to have better athletic performance. Okay, so those are your reasons. So that would be. Here we go.
This is so cool.
Yep. And there's also an app. When you're doing a ketogenic diet, there's an app, there's tons of apps about counting your carbs and your macro. You can just take a picture of your food and it'll tell you how many carbs it is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's all kind of apps that make it easy. And I don't sell that. I mean, you know.
Okay.
So
It's gonna
I can't
should we
make it
take a
work.
look at?
All right, don't worry about it.
Do we need to look at that, or is?
This is a keto. This is the
We'll
this
get
is
that.
actually the app. This was $100. Okay.
Huh.
But I think if you're gonna bother to do something, I spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on my wellness, and I would rather spend hundreds of dollars on my wellness to stay alive and be healthy than to spend it on medicine and not feel good all the time, right?
Absolutely.
And so I buy, these are my electrolytes I buy. So I take potassium and magnesium all the time when I'm drinking the ketones, because I drink the ketones all the time. And the other thing that's really interesting is your insulin will not shut off if you're vitamin D deficient. And there's a huge correlation to cancer and vitamin D deficiency. They will put you on like 10,000 units, 5,000 units. I take this twice a day. Dr. Melanie Miller put me on this. If you're vitamin D deficient, your insulin will not stop. You will not get into the metabolic state of ketosis. If you're in puberty, if you're in menopause, there's all different things that keep you from getting into the metabolic state of ketosis. So these devices, the strips and this thing, make it measurable to see if it's really important for me to be in this metabolic state, am I in it?
All right, so I don't know if people will last this long with us, but I do hope that if people, get through to the end of our show, they will ask us questions.
You can buy these products at reformu.shopketo.com. Okay, this is an online company. You can't get it in the
But
store.
Christy will put up some stuff.
Yeah. And
Tell
these
Christy what to put up on the show,
Okay.
on the page, okay?
And then all this other stuff, like look at these books, hone in on these books. Dr. Mary Newport, and this one, the Ketogen, all these books are amazing. This one I love, this one I love, this one I love. All of them. This one I love. Yep, this is Dr. Axe. And he has a really good website about what fat to eat. So
We need to get Dr. Axe
I
on the
know.
show. Why don't you call him
I
and get
know.
him signed up?
Well, see, okay, so are we done?
Well, we're kind of done. Yeah, we're
Okay.
done.
So we have very few functional medicine doctors here in Birmingham, but there's one, Dr. Melanie Miller, right here in Trustful that you did.
Okay.
And then there's another one in Greystone, Dr. Sam Petrie.
Okay.
And there's another one in Florence. We have a beautiful girl here. She went to Auburn. She was like 20 years old. And she
We're
was
still
18.
going, by the way.
Okay, but she was diagnosed with stage 4 neonatal blastoma, which is a really rare brain cancer that usually babies get.
Uh-huh.
And so she was going to Atlanta for her treatment. They thought she was going to die. They set up this food chain. People were bringing casseroles and all this stuff to her house. And finally, she was about to die. She was through all her treatment, and her parents found this functional medicine doctor in Florence. He put her on a protocol. She's married. She lives in Arizona. She graduated from Auburn. She has started a whole foundation called Open Hands Overflowing Hearts.
Okay.
And she's raised millions of dollars to prevent cancer in children. So, there is something to be said for the proof is in the pudding. Oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work if you don't do it, right? And it doesn't work if something's not wrong with you, you won't feel that much of a difference. But if you don't feel good and you do it, maybe you won't shake as much if you have Parkinson's. Maybe you can reverse your autoimmune disorder and get off some of your medications. Just being morbidly obese comes with its own set of problems.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So if for no
Absolutely.
other reason, if you didn't want to be morbidly obese, there are people that have lost 20 pounds, 30 pounds in like a month's time because it works very quickly.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, this
Thank you
was
for your
awesome.
time.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it so
Really
much.
enjoyed it. It's
Thank
great.
you.